Hello and welcome to Mr. Gordon's pre-algebra classroom at San Marcos Middle School, room number 10. This is the classroom layout portion of the BTSA module A-2 portion. I will be talking to you about my layout of the classroom and some rationale for how it's all set up. I first will show us the overall look of the room here. We have 4 rows of desks with students sitting in pairs. I seat my students at the beginning of the year based on heterogeneous model involving math abilities and strengths. I try to have weaker students sit next to students whom are a bit stronger, and we would be able to tutor their quote-unquote shoulder partner at times. That's for instructional levels. For special education modifications, many students have preferential seating included in their IEPs or 504s. My seating arrangements comply with these modifications. Modifications can include, but are not limited to, proximity of the teacher, distance from whiteboard, and clearing from possible distractions. For English language learners, I try to also employ a heterogeneous strategy to my seating arrangements. I try to seat lower level ELLs with more affluent students of whom speak the same native language, if possible. Now, I will make seating arrangements later on in the year based on interactivity of the students in each particular class. In some classes, I may notice that when I seat boys with girls, the mathematical discourse isn't as rich as when they don't sit with each other. In that case, I will make a shift in my seating strategy. Another possible case is that I will notice a few of the same students causing resonating distractions in class that will force me to keep them in separate areas of the class, and that is if behavior interventions themselves are unsuccessful. Now, I believe that my classroom layout, as it is, as you can see, I feel that it enhances student engagement. For example, it involves students sitting in pairs facing the front of the room. This layout, opposed to my other considerations involving students in groups of 4 or more, it enhances student engagement because it lessens the distractions that arise when students are in groups of more than 2 and therefore not necessarily all facing the front of the class. The desks I'm given in this room are trapezoidal, so it does make it easy for the student pair arrangement. I feel that this student pair arrangement also enhances learning because it allows for versatility in student involvement. In addition to having the students working in either alone by themselves individually or in pair activities, I can have students from other rows spin their chairs around and work in groups of 4 or move the desks themselves. Now, for safety issues, I've made sure to comply with fire and safety codes. Less than 25% of the walls are covered. I also covered up wires that may be tripped on. Wire covers there, as you can see. I also feel like my desk arrangement allows for an easy flow out of the classroom in the case of an emergency. My room certainly will always have posted standards and objectives. I will post objectives on both ends of the wall for students always to see. There's your other part there. Got your standards there. They will be appropriate objectives and standards for each class day. In terms of materials, students walk in through that door here, and they will pick up any handouts for the day as they walk in on this handout here. On this desk here. The cabinet there, the orange one, houses most other materials: scissors, colored pencils, markers, card decks, math manipulatives, all the fun stuff. My plan is to, along this front wall, post academic vocabulary for my students to be able to refer to some of the words that we've learned throughout the year. In terms of whiteboards, you've got one there, you've got one over there, and then in the front here, we've got, in the middle of this old school whiteboard, we have a smart board, which is connected to a projector, which is connected to, via this cable, my computer right there. I use this smart board daily to present lessons and engage students never before seen in old school whiteboard days. For example, I can have students come up to the front of the room and use the smartboard themselves to show math. Their ability, I've noticed, to assimilate to this new technology is quite astounding. Student work areas. For the most part, I have students working in their desks as they are arranged. In the back, you can see some chairs that I sometimes have students sit in if they are completing a test or quiz because they're absent and need to lessen distractions. I'll have them sit there alone, get some work done. In addition, if a student is being a distraction to the class, I may have that student sit back there and take a time out. Now, to make student work areas to have them work in larger groups, I can easily create groups of 4 or more by having those trapezoid tables joined together to make a hexagon. Now, to talk about my behavior management system, it involves reinforcing positive behavior within a whole group setting and dealing with negative behavior in a one-to-one setting. I try not to tie the whole class into feeling the consequences of the behavior of a select few. I will give a warning to a student if he or she is acting out of line in class. If I have to speak with that student again during the same week, I will keep him or her after class and have them call a parent or guardian and have them read from my phone call script. Over here, I've got my telephone, and right above it is my script. The top one there is when a student is being a behavior problem. The second one there is when students have missing assignments. The first one, the script says, they have to, that they've gotten in trouble. If they get in trouble again, there will be written referral, a referral sent to the vice principal's office. They'll be their responsibility to make up the work that they miss. And so far that works very well. Actually, in addition, for those Spanish speakers, I have it translated for us as well. Okay. Now, one thing I do with all my classes to keep behavior in check is I use music a lot in class. I have a bell work song that comes on right after a bell rings at class time. It's the Monday Night Football. Let me see if I can get that on for us. So that's the song they hear right after the bell rings. Sometimes students don't hear the bell. Sometimes, they're talking and whatnot. So when they hear this, they know they have 20 seconds to get out their bell work, start their morning routine. In addition, I also have music for transitions. For example, if we are going to start a new activity, or if we have to all return to our seat, I will play this. Now, students call that the whistle song. I don't think any of them have any idea it's the Andy Griffith Show. I also use, this transition music. It gives students a sense of urgency because they know it is expected of them to be ready for the next activity when the music stops. I also have a cleanup song. It's about 50 seconds long. No, it's just over a minute. It's an upbeat song. It gets them moving to clean up and get themselves all ready for the end of the class for passing period. When that music starts, no matter what's going on in class, students know they can begin cleaning up their things. And when that music stops, students know to be ready to listen to me so that I can give a closing statement or summary or a closing activity, maybe some sort of formative assessment. It's really been a good experience because I don't have to constantly be looking at the clock over there and my timing here for each class to see if I'm on schedule or if I'm going to be rushing at the end. I can really not worry about that and just let myself teach. So I feel like you guys got a good tour here, and I appreciate you listening. Thank you very much.